Hello, this is Sheshachalam from Astroguide Mysore. So today we are understanding a combination of two planets. That is, one is Saturn, the other one is Rahu. So this particular combination I have dealt with in earlier classes. Around 4 or 5 videos are there where I have dealt this particular combination in particular houses. So I thought of putting up this video because I would give you uh, assimilated summary of this combination in one picture. Usually, combinations which are very tough are given some names so that, like Guru Chandala Yoga, which we had discussed earlier with Jupiter and Rahu, or uh, Chandala and Angaraka Yoga, that is Rahu, Angaraka, Rahu and Mars. So there are different names for each combination. And I myself, after a lot of research, I have named this yoga for my own purpose. Maybe this name is used in some other places also, but this is a name which I have given, which I call it as Paishachika Yoga. Here, people should not be suddenly getting into a sort of tension or stress because the name sounds a little dangerous or difficult to comprehend. Paishachika. The word comes from pishacha. So here you should understand the word pishacha is a very normally used word, which very clearly tells that which is not belonging to the normal society, or that thought which is not normally belonging to the normal community, an alien thought, an alien accident, an alien injury, an alien infection, an alien person. This alien thought is called as Paishachika. That is something which we had not even thought of, something which was not intended to happen. Suddenly it is happening and we don't know. Like, for example, the corona, which had come like a wave of a ghostly wave, an alien wave, a ghostly wave, which suddenly came and it caused havoc. Suddenly there was a tsunami and people went through a lot of pain and a lot of difficulty. Suddenly there was an earthquake. So these things are all nature bound Paishachika Yoga. But what if it happens within an individual's chart? We will discuss it today with Saturn Rahu combination. So there are several different categories which I have done for this particular yoga. It will be a lengthy video. So the first important category is that the native goes through attitudinal changes. The negatives are that he loses faith, he loses his ground, he loses hope, he gets into hopelessness. This is the negativity of this yoga. But the positive is that he gains confidence. He gets sometimes a negative part of it, overconfidence also. Suddenly, leaving a good paying job and telling it to himself that I will do something like an entrepreneur, I will start a startup, I'll do this business, I'll do that business, I will make a lot of money, I'm getting bored in my job. This kind of a thought also can come when a person is going through Rahu Saturn or Saturn Rahu Dashabhukti or periods in his lifetime. Attitudinal change also refers to a person feeling certain kind of a lifestyle. In this particular combination, a person feels burdened, overburdened. He feels that all the job they are putting it on me. I am doing, four persons job. I am doing more job as more than what I am supposed to do, and I am being paid very less. So this is a very tough combination. Impulsive behavior. This is also an attitudinal change which happens. impulsive behavior, sudden interest in stock market or sudden gains, lotteries. So this is the attitudinal change. There also, it also, the particular combination also puts pressure and changes a surface or a little bit of the character of a person itself. It actually comes out. See, whenever a planet or its dasha bhukti or its transit happens, it will try to pull the character what it represents and which is inside you might be dormant. It will try to make it, more prominent, more outstanding, so that people will be able to see the sun in you, the moon in you, the Mars in you, the Mercury in you, the Saturn in you, the Rahu in you. So the Rahu or the Saturn here in this yoga will try to bring their part of your character to the surface. So if you people can understand this particular point, it's a very important point. So a person can start earning through unscrupulous means, that is unethical means, suddenly getting into a group of people where he will start investing into unethical means of earning money. So, and he loses patience, becomes a little rough and rude in speech. So these are the modifications which will happen in a character when a person is going through Rahu Saturn or Saturn Rahu combination. So every combination doesn't manifest on the same day from the day of birth. So each planet has its age, has its time frame, and each combination can be seen either when they are, planets transiting over them. When Saturn transits over Rahu Ketu, sorry, Rahu and Saturn combination, or Rahu transits over Rahu and Saturn combination, or if it's dasha bhukti, or dasha bhukti in the sense that the major period or minor period or the sub period runs in which Rahu or Saturn are involved. So there might be sudden results of gaining enormous amount of money. Don't think that always Saturn and Rahu will be a negative factor. If they are well placed, this person can become an extraordinary industrialist, very good surgeon. So I'll come to those things later. So for medical, astrology part of this combination, if it is placed in such places where a person will suffer through some ailment, the first problem seen is immunodeficiency, which can cause a lot of problems. There are around 80 deficiency diseases or ailments. The most prominent one for this particular combination is arthritis or the joint pain. So chronic hormonal dysfunctions can be seen. Normal problems like bad breath, uh, chest congestions, breathing problems, pneumonic problems, sinusitis, that is the blockage of the sinusoidal cavities, getting head spins, dizziness, or even getting what we call as nausea, feeling of nausea, and migraines. These are very important problems which this particular combination may cause if the combination is sitting in the triksthanas, the 6th, 8th, and the 12th, and even the ascendant. So money gets stuck into investments. This is not pertaining to the medical astrology. This is the regular predictions. Money gets stuck into investments. There will be sudden gap or sudden what we call as a block or a hurdle in education, or there might be a chance or a point where a student might feel that he has to make a u-turn or change the whole path itself. Not coming back, u-turn is actually coming back and doing something from the start, but they will be doing, let's say they are trying to do electronics, they will suddenly change path and go into pure physics, something like that. They will change their whole track itself and go into some other line which is totally different. So staying far away from family, staying in foreign countries and eating outside food. So nowadays, this is a trend, and people may ask me that whether everybody nowadays has Saturn Rahu combination. So it's not that. Desha Kala Vartamana has to be seen. The era in which we are living, the present situation in which we are living, and the place where we are living. Desha Kala Vartamana. So when we see all this, you cannot expect what you get at your places in the city, urban places, which we call as junk food, in every place around the world. There are many places still in the world, like for example, you go to the plains of Mongolia, you will not be getting a person standing there on the road giving you junk food. You'll have to carry your junk food. So that is still can be seen, but still, what I'm trying to tell here is that impurity, low standard food, or you know places where you will not have a comfortable seating, but you will have to eat for the day. You will stand, you will eat, you will gobble and simply walk away. So nowadays people feel that that's fun, that they go roaming around and they stand, they eat and go. But earlier days, people would never do that. So the standard of living has gone down because of Rahu and Saturn. So staying in hotels and foreign countries, this earlier was considered a stigma. It was considered negative that a person goes away from his village and is staying very far away for a very long time. Only merchants and people who would do marketing in earlier days, who would do trade, those people would actually go with permission. But most of the times it would be like he has been banished from his village, and he is sent out from his village or kicked out from his village on a punishment. This is what is punishment Rahu and Saturn are causing together for so many people who will leave that comfortable place where they were staying in their houses, in their locality, their community, their place of birth. They are very well versed with what's happening there, and suddenly the fish is out of water. They are picked and put in some foreign place. Yeah, I will tell you, most of the foreign travels are not that happy. I have seen and spoken to many, many people. So, more than half of the travels are very strenuous. They are going through a lot of tension. They are not very well settled. And they are every day, after 10 years or 20 years, they are still regretting that why did I take that particular route? I could have stayed where I was happy. So, Saturn and Rahu can give that particular type of a life. But anyway, that is also an opportunity for understanding foreign life or otherness. That is what is alienism, otherness. So when a person gets afflicted by a cancer kind of disease, it is nothing but you are getting Rahu inside your body. That is an impurity, a foreign body which is coming inside and causing infection. So that is what is alien, Paishachika Yoga. That is, I did not even expect this to happen. We were not, we were unaware, we were caught unaware. It's an accident suddenly happening to me. So that is what it feels to a person who goes through this particular combination. People can become very good surgeons, people with tough jobs, very hardcore jobs, and people going into becoming commission agents, high class commission agents, or even normal commission agents. So commission agency is not a small world. It's a big, very big world. That even if I am going to sell it from an OEM, that's an original manufacturer, to the consumer, you have somebody in between. These are the people who are more nowadays in the world. Manufacturers are less and the consumers are more, but more than the manufacturers, the middlemen. That is what you can become a very strong person who can route from foreign, that is import and export businesses can be done. Hard labor is also seen from Saturn Rahu. People who can become industrialists, politicians. So finally speaking, this is a yoga in which you can do lots of different kinds of jobs. That jobs are like businesses on sand, stone, crushers, dockyards, recycling of material, junkyard, sheet metal, hardware, steel, oil, that is crude oil, waste, sanitary, leather, shot blasting, forging, casting, heavy, dark, smoky industrial environments. So all this comes under Saturn and Rahu, including the salt industry, where people suffer from injuries, and all those occupational hazards can be seen from Saturn and Rahu, because it is a very poor state in certain countries where people are forced into these particular kinds of jobs. Like, for example, I was seeing a recent shot on in YouTube on a mines which was about to collapse, the gold mines in Africa, and people were trying to save their own countrymen who were inside, the miners. So they made a small hole, and the landslide was happening, and the miners were coming out of it like rats. Imagine the hardship what they go through. Imagine the dark, moist, stagnant, dusty place where they work. This is Saturn Rahu. Not everybody can do it. So do not take Saturn Rahu just like that. This is a very tough combination to understand, and there are many tough situations only these people can handle, not everybody. So, yeah, very nicely put. Added that, yeah, the skin diseases are centers where it is leprosy, and it's almost now. People have eradicated. We have eradicated polio, malaria, and leprosy, but still, in many places, it's still coming up, cropping up, and trying to tell us that the demon is still alive. So this is a combination which is to be taken very seriously, and research has to be done wherever Rahu or Ketu are involved, because it's very difficult to understand the combination, first of all. So thank you very much for today's class.